Oh, Tashidele, hello. Namaste, Tashidele.
Namaste, Tashidele.
Tashidele.
Hello, Geshe.
Hello, how are you all? Everyone doing okay?
Wonderful.
Good. Thank you, Geshe.
Very well. So welcome, Geshe, again to the third week's teaching.
Okay.
As requested by Choe Khor Sum Ling. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So welcome back to the session. Yeah. Yeah. So we take a moment to settle ourselves in the present moment. Sit comfortably and try to breathe naturally, but there's a little stretch the the length of the breathing, and try to make that as a way to take our mind to focus on the breathing. What I find, just try to focus on the breathing because it's too accustomed to usually, the natural breathing is all the time is there, and sometimes it's quite difficult. So need one kind of triggering point. So that is the moment you motivate to breathe a little bit lengthy than usual, and that helps to place our mind to focus on the breathing. So do that exercise and try to calm oneself, both the body and mind. Oh, yeah. So now take a moment to refresh our refuge practice in Guru Buddha Dharma Sangha. feel the presence of all the lineage gurus, all the way up to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, surrounded by all the past, present, future Buddhas, in the form of refuge field as well as in the form of merit field. And upon the witnessing the enlightened qualities in this refuge and merit field, inspired oneself to dedicate one's rest of life exactly like them for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. And for that reason, going to dedicate this very session to strengthen that aspiration. Sangye Jodan Zoye Jona La Janju Bado Dane Jazunje Daje Zoje Bezonamje Dola Benje Sanje Dobarai Sho Sangye Jodan Zoye Jonam La Janju Bado Dane Jazunje Daje Zoje Bezonamje Dola Benje Sanje Dobarai Sho Sangye Jodan Zoye Jonam La Janju Bado Dane Jazunje Daje Zoje Bezonamje Dola Benje Sanje Dobarai Sho Kange doje ne zone dawa damje bambe jere dambe jene denje bango damde la jaze lo doni ninje sundo jobe lama zeje zeje kanje tende chana pemo tenzin jazon sowa devzo da je jinye lo semje damje dewa dan dewe judan dembra juje semje damje dunga dan dunga je judan dawra juje semje damje dunga mebe dewa dami dawa juje Semje damje nire jadani dandawe danyola nebra juroje. Semje damje dewa dandewe judan dembra juje. Semje damje dunga dandunga jenju dandawra juje. Semje damje dunga mebe dewa dami dawa juje. Semje damje nire jadani dandawe danyola nebra juroje. Semje damje dewa dandewe judan dembra juje. Semje damje dunga dandunga jenju dandawa juje. Semje damje dunga mebe dewa dami dawa juje. Semje damje nire jadani dandawe danyola nebra juroje. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so in last session, we learned about the three principal aspects of the path of the three capable beings. Just to remind, those three principal aspects of the path are the renunciation, then method aspect of the path, and the wisdom aspect of the path. Yeah. So the renunciation and the path which defined the three level of practitioner of Buddhist path. Small renunciation, renouncing the negative deeds that will cause to reborn in the three lower realms. So renouncing the suffering of lower realms, and it is causes the negative karma. Then engaging in the method aspect of the path, such as going in the practice of refuge by cultivating virtues and abandoning non-violence, abandoning violence, cultivating non-violence, minimum, which the method, so refuge and the cultivation of karmic law, cause and effect that infused by the mind of renunciation. And as far as concerned with the wisdom, that which understanding the less importance of the present life self, rather focusing on the focusing and understanding the more importance of the future lifetimes, the well-being of self, which again, the wisdom that lead by the mind of renunciation, understanding the interdependency of the karma. So if you want to achieve the well-being of the future lifetime, then one should create the interdependent causes, which are the virtuous karma. So these three principal aspects of the path, which will define as a simul capable being, or the first level of practitioner in Buddhist path. As far as concerned with the middle capable being, the middling renunciation, not only renouncing the three lower realms, but renouncing the whole 6 realm of existence, and it is causes, whether it is virtue or non-virtue, as long as karma that is contaminated by delusion, then it still, be the cause of cyclic existence. Even you happen to be born in the higher realm, like human and God, which are the result of virtue. But if the virtue is contaminated by delusion, then that brings the limitation, not being the cause of liberation, the ultimate liberation. So by renouncing the entire 6 realms and renouncing the entirety of the cause, the contaminated karma and the delusion, and that motivate to cultivate the method aspect of the path, such as understanding the Four Noble Truths, understanding the sufferings to be known, causes of sufferings to be eradicated, nirvana to be achieved, the path to be actualized. On the basis of that understanding, then following the noble path, noble path, then the wisdom of selflessness, or the emptiness of selflessness, no, emptiness of the self, or wisdom of selflessness, and aspired to actualize the nirvana peace, so that define the middle capable being, or middle or the middling person, or the practitioner. Then the higher capable being, the renunciation, the three principal aspect of the path. The renunciation is the great renunciation, the renunciation that which infused by great compassion. Then that lead to the method aspect of the path, bodhicitta, the enlightened mind, the altruistic attitude that concerning, that carry the concern of the well-being of not only oneself, but numberless sentient beings, not only limited liberation, but for the ultimate liberation, which is full enlightenment. As far as kind of wisdom, the wisdom of emptiness, and that define the higher capable being. So this is very important to have a clear picture in our heart. So in fact, if we know this, we very much learn the basic, entire lamb of the path, lamb for the path. In the Lama Tsongkhapa, again, one of the interpretation of the lamb for the path is three principal aspects of the path, teaching on three principal aspects of the path. That also is interpretation of the root text, root teaching based on the lamb for the path. So I try to use the language that I can understand. So I have the lowest capability mentality. So I hope that now you got it. So if you want to get into slightly more elaborate understanding, you can refer to the three principal aspects of the path teaching by Lama Tsongkhapa. Then, of course, if you want a more elaborate commentary, you can refer to the Lamrim Chemo and any Lamrim, especially Lamrim Chemo, the great stages path to enlightenment by Lama Tsongkhapa is extremely detailed. Okay, so now today I hope, so I try to not to get too much distraction, go here and there. I try to stay on the text, but just to give you a skeleton, the picture of what we may be able to cover later. So basically, there are two major subjects. Hopefully, we will one major subject, which is the further elaboration on the path of higher capable being, the Mahayanic Bodhisattva path. Then within that, the two major practice, the practice of motivational altruism, which is called the aspirational altruism. So that will be the first part of the main talk, and the second is the teaching on engaging bodhicitta, or engaging altruism. So these two teaching makes up what is about Mahayanic path or Mahayanic Dharma. So before going into that, so this teaching will start from verse 7, but before going into that, I will just go through the a brief the introductions on those two major methods which help the practitioner to actualize the altruism or the bodhicitta, the aspirational bodhicitta, and engaging bodhicitta, that what we're going to discuss later. So that is based on the verse 6. So for those, so if you refer to the verse 6 of Lamb for the Path, for those excellent living beings whose desire supreme enlightenment, I shall explain the perfect method taught by the spiritual teacher. So anyone who aspire for the ultimate liberation or full enlightenment, not just nirvana peace, not just higher rebirth, like how the earlier two capable beings pursue, then for this kind of practitioner, then Lama Atisha want to explain the perfect method. There could be many different methods, but all the methods that you combine into two, that which is the most perfected, completed method. And that also Lama Atisha going to teach, not simply made up by himself, but the method that has been used by all the past Buddhas, all the past great teachers, like such as Nagarjuna, Shantideva, such as Asanga, etc. And most of all, not just these bodhisattvas, but even the enlightened beings like Buddha Manjushri and Buddha Maitreya, they have used this method, during the training, during when they were training, and actualize the state of full enlightenment. So, so Atisha are going to share this major method, and and this methods Atisha himself very much he learned from many different teachers, but mainly the transmission he have received is Buddhibhadra and Dharma Silingba, Lama Silingba, who reside in Indonesia. So these two major teacher is the one that who passed down the lineage of these two methods. So, and also Atisha himself regarded Atisha himself regarded unlike other scholars who also receive Mahayanic Dharma, but partial lineage, either lineage on the one of the method, either of the method, not the both method. So Atisha is regarded that he has the lineage of the both. So those lineage, those methods. The first one is the seven cause and effect. 7 cause and effect method to develop bodhicitta. That technique, the lineage came from Maitreya, then Asanga, and Dharmakirti Silingba, then Atisha, like that. So as far as concerned with the second method, which is called self-exchanging with other, so that came from Manjushri, Nagarjuna, Shantideva. So these are the channeling, which Atisha has the blessing of both this lineage that caused Atisha himself to actualize bodhicitta in realization. So because of that, the lineage that we follow, the Atisha's lineage, regarded one of the richest, one of the complete, and one of the most blessing. One has the most blessing, and that well celebrated in Tibet by great Tibetan, earlier Kadamba masters, then later Kadamba masters starting from Lama Tsongkhapa, up to today's living great Kadamba master like His Holiness Dalai Lama, etc. Who truly gained the realization in bodhicitta, not just in the knowledge, not just knowing the knowledge, but who really living, bodhisattvas, and that is because of the lineage blessing is genuinely, transmitted and have actualized. So therefore, in Buddhist practice, in Buddhist learning, the purpose of Dharma only complete in the practitioner when the practitioner actualizes realization, in the path. Until then, the Buddha's purpose of revealing the Dharma is not fulfilled. Not fulfilled. If you just choose as an academic learning, but disregarding the lineage blessing, then you can be great scholar, but then Buddha's purpose is not fulfilled. Of course, it will bring great service to the preservation of Dharma in learning, but may not able to serve for the preservation of Dharma in realization. So when we talk about preserving the Dharma perfectly, then individual have to accomplish both, both in learning as well as in realization. So like that. So the first method that Atisha introduced to us is the 7 cause and effect. So the 7 cause and effect, first one is recognizing all sentient beings as one's mother, exactly like one's present mother. understanding them as like a, understanding them has been your mother, and regarding them as like your present mother. Why giving the mother as an example? Because generally, you know, if we don't overpower by self-cherishing or a self-cherishing attitude, if you really base on the you know, actual fact of the mother's relation to you, then without any doubt, you know, mother is the kindest being in our life. Mother is the most closest being in our life. You see, so so therefore, understanding that rest of the numberless sentient beings also, as you know, understand them as close as your present mother in your heart, in relation to you know, your what say you know, in relation to all the benefits, including, you know, providing this body, you know, giving us, conditioning us to have this life, etc. So, so that's the first thing. So recognizing all sentient beings as one's mother. Second one is remembering the kindness of, you know, all the sentient beings. You know, remembering the kindness of all the mother sentient beings. Third one is repaying the kindness of all the mother sentient beings. Then the great love, unconditional love. Then great compassion. Then great resolve, the heart of resolve. Yeah, great heart of resolve. You know, offer service for the benefit of numberless sentient beings. So these are the these are the 6 causes. These are 6 causes, and the result, the number 7, is the bodhicitta, the altruistic mind. So this is one of the perfect method that Lama Atisha that wanted to share, that which, you know, he have received this method both in learning, first, you know, introduced by Dharma Silingpa, then you know, transmit transmit the blessing through you know, through instructions, through commentary, and through oral transmissions. So nurture, you know, through transmission of the blessing for 12 years, you know, under the guidance of Lama Silingpa Dharma Kirti, the Atisha nurtured for 12 years, you know, in the training of actualizing bodhicitta by using, you know, this technique. Okay. So from this 7 causes and effect, the method, the first one regarded most important to be trained, and most difficult to be trained. And therefore, you know, whatever amount of time required to invest to train the first method, first course, the method of recognizing all sentient beings as a mother, then it should be trained, and it should be provided a time. So once you have achieve the realization on the first point, then rest of the remaining points regarded suitably will actualize within one's mental continuum as a realization. So, so the so in order for us to first, to really to make sense of how important rest of the sentient beings, first of all, we need to understand the relationship that first we have relationship with the rest of the numberless sentient beings. And the relationship, we may have many different type of relationship, but in particularly the relationship as a mother. And in order to do that, we have to understand the life and rebirth, and the life and rebirth. So I've already briefly mentioned before, how to make ourselves understand that there's a definite existence of life and rebirth. So by understanding that, then we come to a point that we had beginningless life. We had numberless life from beginningless lifetimes. And even though there are many kind of birth, birth from womb, birth from miracle birth, but there are numberless rebirth that we have born from mother's womb. We have taken numberless human rebirths in the past. So each time when we take human rebirth, we are not born miraculously. We have to born from mother. So therefore, for the numberless rebirth that we born as a human being, or we born as many kind of animals, mother has to be one of the major conditions, to have the life. And whenever the relationship child with the mother, we can understand even from innocent animals that animals like a tiger that who prey for other animals, but when it comes to their own child, they really nurture them with so much care, protection, love, etc. So this is very easy to understand. What is motherly love to the child can be. So so therefore, each time that sentient being serve as our mother, provided us immense of kindness and benefit. You see. So so anyway, so before that, so first to understand that all sentient being has been one's mother. Has been one's mother. So first we have to establish that in our understanding. And that is not easy. Not easy. When it comes to the realization of realizing all sentient being as one's mother, then the mind of recognizing all sentient beings as one's mother is lively all the time, without needed any reasoning. All the time. Whenever you see any kind of sentient being, you see them in your mother. When you see a cockroach, you see them in your mother. So it's not easy. Whenever we look at the cockroach, we see as a cockroach, but nothing to do as a mother-child relationship. That means there's no realization. And we naughty human being, no question about not recognizing cockroach as our mother, but our own, this very life's mother, sometimes we don't recognize as our own mother, isn't it? Many people abuse their mother, disregard their mother. So, and even though, like us, we recognize our present mother precious and regard, recognize, its precious mother, but we don't have that deep, clear, all the time, spontaneous arising in our heart. You see, we don't have the concern or well-being of our present life mother all the time. When you gain the realization on recognizing as a mother, remembering their kindness, is our mind is always in the mindfulness of, whenever our mind is awake, mind is awake, there's a portion of mind is always having the concern, the well-being of the mother, always thinking the kindness of the mother, always thinking the preciousness of the mother. At least there's one portion of mind that always alive in our mind, and we don't have that. And I mean, you may have, but you have to make time to think about your mother. Not all the time. You have more junk. You have more how to say, rubbish thinking. Fill your mind then thinking of your mother, isn't it? So it is not easy. So first of all, it require quite an analysis to first of all to establish the wisdom of life and rebirth, and that itself is quite hard, but no choice, have to do it. In order for us to genuinely, fully understand that we have connection with the rest of the numberless sentient beings, you see. So then after that, remembering the kindness of the mother, and of course, you can take your present life's mother as an example, then relate to the rest will be easier. Then after that, to repay the kindness, is very much, repaying in your thoughts, repaying in your actions, in your best capability, and most of all, repaying the kindness of mother sentient being is yourself, perfecting in all the virtues and eliminating all the negativities. So the more you gather the virtue, it's more beneficial for the mother sentient being. You see, so even when we start to observe basic virtues of the 10 virtues action, the moment we start to observe the practice of no killing, entire numberless sentient being, entire numberless mother sentient being receive protection of at least no harm from you. You see, like you observe that one vow, and that is very basic, and that's how you repay the kindness of the mother sentient being. That's how you start to serve the mother sentient being, by protecting them. So you see, so it's so powerful, just simply observing no killing. One person, you are just one person observing no killing, but numberless sentient beings' life becomes safer from not receiving harm from you, like that. Then no lying, etc. So yeah, so most of all, if you're able to actualize, from a basic virtue all the way up to the altruistic virtue of bodhicitta, then this is the way how you repay the kindness of mother sentient being. Then after that, the training our mind in the cultivation of unconditional love. So love here is the mind, is the heart that wanting, starting from your present mother and rest of the mother sentient beings, to cause them happiness and causes of happiness. So that is the mind of love. Then the compassion, the great compassion. The mind of great compassion is the mind that, or the heart that wanting from this very life's mother to rest of the mother sentient being, to free from sufferings and causes of the sufferings, free from any form of suffering and causes of sufferings, like that. So from these 6 causes, as far as concerned with the love and compassion, the sequence, not necessarily the love has to be first. You can train, if you feel more comfortable with the compassion, then you train in compassion first, then later you train in love, like that. But usually training in love is easier than training in compassion. Then after that, then you train in the heart of resolve. So the heart of resolve is very much direct result of full force of love and compassion, which come to our understanding that absolute clarity, the recognition of all sentient beings, your mother, their kindness, their immeasurable kindness, urgency to repay their kindness, then taking responsibility by yourself alone, not waiting for someone's help for you to engage in taking care of the rest of the mother sentient beings' well-being. You are committing right there by yourself alone, completely for the sake of the well-being of numberless sentient beings. So that is the heart of resolve. When you fully nurtured or realize the realization in the path of resolve, then that will result the 7, the bodhicitta, or the altruistic mind. So this is how you train. So roughly it's like that. Then the second technique that lineage came from Shantideva, the self-exchanging with others. The first, you train in the equanimity, neutralize your 3 partial attitude, and train in equanimity. So the partial attitude of attachment, grasping to the loved one, aversion, grasping to the enemy, and neglection or disregarding the rest of the ignoring rest of the others. So first we have to neutralize these 3 impartial attitudes. So the way to do that is seeing the faults of the attachment grasping, aversion grasping, and ignorant, and you pacify your aggressive delusions, the 3 kind of delusions. Then second one is training our mind through understanding all the disadvantage of the cherishing oneself, the self-centered, the faults of the self-centered interests, the self-grasping interest, was the self-centered attitudes interests, or the self-cherishing, the disadvantage of the self-cherishing attitude, such as, in short, all the Buddhas and the great Mahasiddhas, great scholars have concluded that all the adversity that we experience, all the suffering that we experience comes from cherishing one's own well-being, or in other words, only fulfilling the self-centered interests. So, reflecting on those meaning, then using our common sense, when we focus on the self-centered interests, how close our mind become. No, maybe my English, I think, upside down, uh, uh, you know, how close up our mind become, how narrow our mind become when we only focus on our own well-being, you see. So, there are many teachings, like quotations, uh, uh, like Nagarjuna's, precious garland, Shantideva's Bodhisattva's way of life, which His Holiness Dalai Lama often quote in his teachings, to understand the disadvantage of self-cherishing attitude. So try to train our mind to understand very clear about that. Then the third one is all the benefit, the advantage of cherishing the well-being of the numberless sentient being, the cherishings of others. You see, then again, all these teachers and the Buddhas have taught again and again that all the happiness, from the slightest happiness up to the happiness of full enlightenment, comes from cherishing the well-being of others. So try to nurture our heart with this understanding. Then also in common sense, like anything in our even ordinary life, that the greatest fulfillment comes when you able to share your goodness with others. When you're able to do something good for others, that is the greatest fulfillment. How much you work for yourself, how much you try to do only for yourself, there's you can experience the limitations of fulfillment. You see, even small thing, even the food, if you're able to share with the same plate of food, you're able to share with someone, the taste become better. You see, let's say if you're eating a bowl of rice, you have nobody around, but then just take the spoonful or the few grains of rice, you just take out and share with the birds or the bugs. The taste will be it's unbelievably different. The yumminess will be unbelievably different, like that. You see, or you at the end of the the food, you just keep a little bit of dough from your rice to dedicate for the predators, dedicate for the formless beings. And at the same time, that dough you just throw onto the, put somewhere outside where the insect can eat, bird can eat. The satisfaction that you gain after eating food is unbelievable, you see. So otherwise, how delicious it is, you just focus on yourself, not as delicious as you're able to share with others. And some more, if you have a chance to share with, literally with many others, and that's even unbelievable, So, so those are small reasoning, try to educate ourselves to understand clearly what really the benefit and advantage of cherishing the well-being of others. Then that will make us actually able to exchange self with others. So exchanging self with others is very much about changing the attitude, changing the mindset, the way of thinking, way of dedication, way of the purpose. Whatever you do for the benefit of all other beings. Like whatever you have been doing up to today, from beginningless lifetime, you take yourself the number one priority, isn't it? So now that attitude you change. From now onward, whatever you do, first priority is the rest of the numberless sentient being. Yourself, almost disappear from the category. If still there's a thought of you about yourself, then you are the last line, so like that. So actually exchanging the self with others, so it's exchanging of the thought. Then that will result, that mature realization on actual self exchanging with other will able to result bodhicitta, the altruistic mind. So this is the second method, how to train ourselves to gain realization in bodhicitta or to become bodhisattva. So this is the two major way, two major technique to oneself to become bodhisattva. Like we admire bodhisattvas, isn't it? Bodhisattva Chenrezig. We admire our gurus like Gyabja Lama Sopa, like his son Dalai Lama. They are bodhisattvas, you know. We admire them, isn't it? So if we want to become like them, if we want to carry their quality, then these two are regarded one of the most powerful, authentic technique, the method. And these techniques are like in our ordinary word is like the 100 over 100 point guarantee. In a person that guarantee the result will be delivered. You know, not it's already investigated, already proven method. Yeah. So so then Lama Tsongkhapa you know also suggested that you can practice these two methods together, combine one. Of course, in generally, whenever you accomplish the earlier method, you naturally accomplish the second method. If you choose to train in self-exchanging with other, the second method, you naturally, when you accomplish the second type of technique, indirectly you also accomplish the 7 cause and effect, the first technique. You see, but for a beginner, Lama Tsongkhapa suggested that you can literally combine these two techniques together. So if you wish to do that, then first train from the 4 point self-exchanging with other technique, the first point, the first equalizing the self. So from the second technique, you train the first one, the equalizing. Then after that, you train the 5 causes from the 7 cause and effect. Recognizing all sentient beings as mother, remembering their kindness, repaying their kindness, love and compassion. After that, then you move to the second, third, and the fourth of the 4-point training. Train in seeing the false disadvantage of self-cherishing, seeing the advantage of cherishing others, and actually exchanging self and other. After you done that, then you move to the 7 cause and effect, the number 6, the cause, which is the mind of resolve. So once you train that, then the result will be bodhicitta. So regarded very effective for someone training in the beginning, as a beginner, is regarded very, very effective. So like that. So this is a rough picture. What Lama Atisha say. I'm going to introduce the perfect method that he have received from the lineage gurus. Okay. Okay, so now we move to verse 7. So from verse 7 to verse 18, very much focus on the aspiration of bodhicitta. As I mentioned before, from the 2 aspects of the 2 stages of the development of development of bodhicitta training. One is the first one is train in aspirational level. Then second one is train oneself in engaging level, engaging in the deeds. The aspiration of bodhicitta is like motivational bodhicitta. It's very much that right now I have no capability to really directly engage with the sentient being to deliver the aspirations of bodhicitta, like such as actual act of the 6 paramita in the sentient being, like generosity, etc. But at least I will train in my thought. Every single action I do through my body, speech, and mind, I'll always do in the I always do the action which infused by the altruistic intention or bodhicitta intention. That's what we normally do. Before we recite prayer, we generate bodhicitta motivation. Before we do any deeds, we try to generate bodhicitta motivation. Then we engage in any all the deeds. So this is very much like aspirational practice, aspirational bodhisattva practice. So now here, to make it more solid, more committed, then when we talk about aspirational bodhicitta, not just casually, carrying the motivation, but you are committing to make sure that you will do that. So you commit to remember. You commit to remember all the time before any action that I will make sure that I will equip with the bodhicitta motivation. So for that, then there is a practice or the ritual to take the vows. So there's 2 steps of vows: aspirational bodhisattva vows and engaging bodhisattva vows. So right now we first talk about how to actualize the aspirational bodhisattva commitment. So the verse 7 is very much talking about preparation, preparatory practice to take the aspirational bodhisattva practice. Or in another word, the verse 7 is in fact verse 7, verse 8, and the first 2 or the first 3 line or the 2 lines of the verse 9 are the preparatory practice to actualize the aspirational bodhisattva practice and the engaging bodhisattva practice, or preparatory practice to actualize the aspirational bodhisattva vow and engaging bodhisattva vow. So it says, facing paintings, statues, and so forth of the complete enlightened one, reliquaries and excellent teaching, offer flowers, incense, whatever you have. With the 7 part offering from the prayer of noble conduct, with a thought never to turn back till you gain ultimate enlightenment, and with a strong faith in the 3 jewels, kneeling with 1 knee on the ground and your hand preceded together, first of all take refuge 3 times. So so the preparatory prerequisites or preparatory practices to take the Bodhisattva commitment. One is the refuge vow. Another prerequisite is to accumulate merit and purify negativities. We need to we need to actualize ourselves as a pure vessel, pure container, pure vessel to able to consume or to able to receive the blessing of the highest virtue, altruism. Or in other words, to digest this most precious and secret virtue, the altruism. Without having enough merit, we weren't able to practice. We weren't able to commit to practice this altruism. Without purifying our mind in a certain degree, even how precious the teaching is, our heart cannot digest. Our heart cannot feel the the blessing. Then since it is a precept, and the precept require, the Bodhisattva vows or the Bodhisattva precept require the basis where you can able to receive it. And that basis vow is the refuge vow. The refuge vow is like a sponge where you can receive the liquid of nectar of all the higher vows. You know, all the refuge precepts is the basis of all the higher vows. Without refuge precept, none of the other vows cannot receive, you know, cannot digest or cannot receive in our mental continuum. So you see, so you need the basis of refuge vows or something like that. So facing, painting, statues, and so forth. Basically, the verse 7. If you have you know, opportunities, and if it's convenient in your room, in your house, then you actualize altar. Very much talking about actualize altar. The altar that you know, hosting the conventional, you know, the Buddha Dharma, Buddha Dharma Sangha, or enlightened, you know, the holy objects, such as statues, you know, which represent, you know, the convention, represent the you know, the Dharmakaya in the conventional enlightened object is the statues like tangas or Buddha's pictures. You know, you set in the middle. Then at the right you set the conventional the Dharma representation, the scriptures, the texts, you know, which emphasize Buddha's teaching, which emphasize the exalted wisdom, like such as wisdom sutras or Goranda sutras, whatever sutra that you have, you put at the right side of the Buddha statue. Then the representations of the enlightened mind, the stupa that you put, you place at the left side of the Buddha statue. Then if you have you know, human gurus, you know, to whom that you have established guru disciple relationship, then you can place, you know, either behind somewhere above the Buddha statue or right in front, you know, of the Buddha statue. You can place the picture or a picture of, you know, your guru. Then that. So here, facing the painting statue, first one is talking about the Buddha's image. Then complete enlightened, really good, excellent teaching, the scriptures of the complete enlightened one. You can refer up, you can Buddha and you know, there's a so forth. So it's also talking about the enlightened mind, which is represented by the stupa. So as I mentioned before, so after you organize that, then in front, you know, you make extensive offering. So the holy objects are the object of merit field, where you're going to accumulate merit. As I mentioned before, one of the prerequisites to able to digest or receive the blessing of bodhicitta, you need a lot of merit. So why you arrange the altar is to create object of merit field. So where you can able to accumulate merit by how? Like such as making offerings. So they offer flowers, incense, whatever you have. So like what it taught in the Shantideva's Buddhist Avacharya, you can offer everything you have, you know, those things that is convenient to really, you know, bring in front of the altar, like fruits and flowers, you can bring. But otherwise, you offer whatever you have in your fridge. refrigerator, all the foods you offer, all the water that you carry in your pipe in the house, all offer, entire house you offer, all the lights that you offer. So basically entire thing that you have, from depth of your heart, you make as an offering. You say, this is for you, in the nature of exalted wisdom, in the nature of great bliss and emptiness, and in the form of numberless, wish fulfilling jewel, wish fulfilling house, your house, you think wish fulfilling house, wish fulfilling, the foods in your fridge, and all your ornaments, the earring and the bracelet, whatever you have, everything, you can offer. You see, so basically, there's not even one single thing that you're not allowed to offer. You cannot offer, not like that. Everything. So then you can do beyond that, like what taught in Shantabhusavacharya, that mountains, the sea, ocean, skies, the light of the sun and moon, everything that you can visualize in your heart and you offer. So the more you do that, you accumulate immense of merit, and that will, prepare yourself as a pure vessel to receive the realization of the practice of altruism, the bodhicitta. So an example, traditionally they offer the 8 offerings, and this is in fact is a tradition, during Buddha's time. There's someone happened to inquiry, how should I welcome Buddha? What offering that I should make? How I make Buddha so pleased, so welcome, with abundance of goodness to please him. And then say, usually in your custom, how you welcome the king, how you welcome the most respected people. And then I think in India, you will know better than me, like when the king visits somewhere else, and give a welcome drink, washing feet. Then after that, then adorn with the flowers, then perfume, like incense, like a lot of perfume, then food, abundance of food, then the music, isn't it? So that's where the 8 offerings comes from, So you can, if you have this, like a custom made, 8 water bowl offering, if you can manage, you can offer 2 water, then flower, then incense, then the light, then a perfume, then food, then music. You can offer like that. Otherwise, just arrange just 7 or 8, the water bowl, just everything offer, and water, just offer water will do. So in Tibet, there's an extensive tradition of water bowl offering. Then the Kadamba masters, there's some disciple inquiry why you make water bowl offering. They say that the offering itself is the practice of generosity, and when you make, we as someone who is so much infused, habitual in miserliness, stinginess, grasping, it's so difficult to have a pure offering that which is totally, sense of letting go and sense of, wholeheartedness of offering. But the water, since it's free, since one of the purest, and if you offer this pure water, that it really train our mind to nurture in the practice of sincere generosity. So making water offering is regarded one of our best offering. So you can do that. And when it comes to the number, you don't have to stick with the 7, 8 number. You can offer 1, hundreds, thousands, and doesn't matter the size. You don't need to have you can have a big buckets, If you have a diamond container, gold, silver, precious gems, well done. If not, if you just have a bucket, you just offer the bucket full of water, like in the monasteries, especially in Tibet and Himalayas, where they have a limited, external things. And especially in the monasteries, especially in the earlier time, there's no much material resources, even cannot afford to get a water bowl. So they have a teacup, wooden teacup. So when they go for breakfast, they use wooden teacup for drinking tea. But then after that, the teacup is no job. So you wash properly and you fill water and offer as a water bowl offering. So so that means basically you can use anything, and as long as you sincerely make offering, like that. So these are all in the form of accumulation of merit, and of course you offer your own body, speech, and mind, etc. So with the 7th part of offering, so this is 7th part offering from the prayer of noble conduct. So this is also called as the kings of prayer. So inside there, the first section, is elaborate, prayers or making offerings. Especially here, the 7th part of offering is referring to 7th part of offering. The first is as already mentioned, making extensive offering, actual offering as well as the visualized offering. Then the second one is the practice of purification. So you purify any negativities. You can engage this practice with practice of prostration. Just simply, the gesture of respect. After you arrange all the offering, then after that, just simply putting your palm together with a sense of, sense of respect. Even that, purifies. And if you can engage 35 Buddha's prostrations, recite 35 Buddha's prayers, then you do prostration. Or you can just recite, I prostrate to Guru, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. You do prostration. That brings so much purification. Or you recite Vajrasattva mantra, Om Bedza Sato Hung, or 100-syllable mantra. You do prostration. Or you just simply sit down and meditate on the 4 opponent power. Especially on the rest of the other purification practice, if you can conjoin with the 4 opponent power, then the purification practice become most powerful. So in short, the main the essence practice of the purification practice is through the practice of 4 opponent power. So that is from the 7, the second one, from the 7 offering here in the verse 8, second one. The offering practice of, the 7 practice, the practice of purification. So 4 opponent power. The opponent power of reliance or the refuge, simply thinking or having awareness of, existence of Buddha, whatever holy object that you adorn on the altar, not regarding them as a material object, just a statue. You are being aware regarding them as the actual Buddha, So when you realizing that, when you bring into understanding, you actualize the first opponent power, meaning you are right in front of the actual enlightened Buddha, who can see entirety of your existence, your karma, and who understand that you are here to purify all your negativities. Then that move on to the second opponent power, power of regret, or in other words, power of recognizing negative as a negative, all the faults as a faults, acknowledging, all the negativities that you have done, just simply acknowledge in front of, Buddha's omniscience, openly in your heart. And if in case you can't remember any of the negative faults, then just simply, understood that why we are in samsara is definitely byproduct of negativities of the past. So therefore, whatever negativities out there accumulated from beginningless lifetime, I recognize these all are the faults. These all shouldn't be committed. So therefore, I'm going to purify it completely, in the present of omniscient you. So that complete the second opponent power, the power of regret. Then the third one, then the actual antidote, the power of antidote. So there you recite, I go for refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So that play as antidote. Or you recite Vajrasattva mantra, that play as a power antidote. Or simply, simply the Buddha have how to say, bless me to eradicate all those negativities. Just simply have that conviction, that actualize the third opponent power, the power antidote. Then that will lead to the fourth opponent power, power of repentance. Then honestly, because you already actualized the omniscient Buddha, so that you will not lie, you will be so honest, isn't it? You will definitely be honest. So right in front of you as omniscient, that from now onward, even course of my life, that I will not commit all those negativities. So here, this is a bit hard, this is a bit difficult. So, but you need, for the fourth opponent power, you need the time frame in order to take the effectiveness of the purification. So if there are certain negativities that that you always encounter such circumstances and you may commit such negative karma again, then at least until I leave until I leave this shrine, until I leave from this this practice, even course of my life, I will not commit any of the negativities that I wanted to purify. So that is quite a big excuse to yourself, but it still helps. It still helps a lot. At least make the fourth opponent power complete. You see, complete. Then from next time onward, then you just try to be more mindful. Try your very best. At least never commit intentional negativities. At least to make sure not to commit any intentional negative action through your body, speech, and mind. And that being honest to yourself, what you just said, even though you said until I leave this place that I will not commit even course of my life, but it still serve the purpose. You see, and the best, especially if it comes to when we are noticing that we are approached to the end of life, then it is worthwhile. Take the opportunity to really commit the even course of my life. Even course of my life, that I will never commit, any of such negativities. Even course of my life like that. So that way, when we can conclude the life with purity, with complete purification of all the negativities. So in Vinaya Sutras and in many teachings that express, there's not even one single negativity that cannot be purified by the application of four opponent power. Even a heinous crime can be purified. How intense negativity that you have committed, when you apply the four opponent power, it's Buddha himself spoken that it will purify it. So third one is the offering practice of rejoicement. You rejoice all the past, present, and future Buddhas and Gurus' merits. You rejoice all the sentient beings' merit. You rejoice your own merits, you see. So the rejoice has so much power. When you rejoice the Buddhas, the higher beings' merit, like Gurus and Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you accumulate, you know, 1 of the 10 of the merit of all the Buddhas, you see. So it's unbelievable. It's so powerful to accumulate merit, isn't it? When you rejoice, you see. Can you imagine Buddha accumulate infinite merit? Buddha is you know, perfection is in merit. You know, Bodhisattvas accumulate infinite merit, and merit are the causes of all the happiness and all the virtues. You see, even for the bodhicitta, just to get to practice, you know, the aspiration of bodhisattva practice, you know, perfectly, you require a lot of merit. Otherwise, you won't be able to practice. You see, so and also we know that whatever suffering comes in our way, whatever problem comes in our way, all the limitations are due to the lacking of merit. You see, so knowing that, and at the same time, you know, we accumulate more negative karma than merit, isn't it? Me, yes, I don't know about you. If you are like me, then yeah, in majority of time accumulate more negativities than the virtues, than the merit. And a huge amount of time, you know, just totally stay in blank, you see. So therefore, abundance of sufferings, abundance of limitations comes in our way because of lacking of merit, you see. So now rejoicement, you know, rejoicing in the virtues of Buddhas, rejoicing in the virtues of others is like the smartest way to accumulate vast merit in such a short time, in such an easy way, you know. Just feeling happy. Wow, Buddha, you know, you perfected in all the qualities, all the virtues. Wow, you know, amazing. You know, I'm so happy. You know, and like deeply feeling happy from the heart. You know, gurus, you know, Bodhisattvas. So you see, so by just simply expressing that feeling of joy in their goodness, you accumulate one of the 10. Unbelievable, isn't it? 1 of the 10, unbelievable. And that 1 of the 10, if we accumulate the number, maybe is much more greater than, you know, many lifetime ourselves alone accumulated the merit. You see, so it's so powerful. That's why Shantideva's Buddhist talks about, you know, the greatest virtue is the rejoicement. You know, greatest virtue is the rejoicement. You see, so and also, mind of rejoicement is one of the easiest and most powerful way to make ourselves happy, keep ourselves happy, you know, keep ourselves positive. You know, no intrusion and no hijacking of our peaceful state of mind by negative emotions, which brings so much suffering, especially those who directly bring so much suffering, like jealousy. You know, when you're jealous of somebody, you feel so unhappy, you know, unnecessarily, but feel so unhappy, you know. When you rejoice, there's no room for jealousy. When you rejoice, no room for anger, you know, etc. like that. So then when you rejoice, the people equal to your level of virtues, if I remember correctly, then you receive half. Then if you rejoice even for the others that who create lesser virtue than you, you know, lesser in virtue than you, by rejoicing, you know, in their virtue, that you accumulate 50%. Oh yeah, rejoicing to the merit who has a limited merit than you, who create lesser virtue than you create double. You achieve double. Yeah. Mm. You rejoice to the Bodhisattvas, then you receive half of their merit. You rejoice to the Buddhas or Buddhas, then 1 of the 10. Buddhas 1 of the 10, Bodhisattvas half of their merit, and to the other sentient being that who is equal or lower than you, you receive double of their merit. What they accumulate, you receive double, just simply rejoicing. Then rejoice to your own merit, you accumulate double. So all the time keeping in your heart all the goodness that you have done, you get inspired, you focus your mind direct to focus on that. You keep accumulating immense of merit, double. Each time you express that, double. And that whenever you focus on the virtuous thing that you have accumulated in the past, it will keep our mind in the positivity, isn't it? It's a very, very powerful way to keep ourselves in peace, in happiness, in virtue. Mm-hmm. Then after that, then requesting, Buddhas to remain among us, the gurus and Buddhas to remain among us, remain among us, not to depart in parinirvana, especially, the Buddhas are the requesting Buddhas not to remain, totally in the aspect of the Dharmakaya, to requesting them to, always manifest in the Nirmanakaya form, like Shakyamuni Buddha, so that we ordinary people can directly can inspired in the virtue. Then the Sambhogakaya, those who always lively inspiring the Bodhisattvas to develop, the path towards enlightenment, like that. So when Buddhas completely lock up themselves, remain in the Dharmakaya aspect, then rest of the ordinary beings, they cannot have a way to communicate directly with the Buddha. You see, so therefore, even like in our case, whatever Dharma we have chance to learn is because of the Dharmakaya manifests into the Nirvanakaya Shakyamuni Buddha in 2,600 years ago. Because of that, all the 84,000 teachings was revealed, isn't it? So how important that Buddha to be manifest in the different forms. So this is the one of the practice. Then this number 6 is the number 5, I think, is to turn the wheel of Dharma. Even Buddha appear, but then Buddha don't reveal the Dharma. Then the sentient being won't get the wisdom. You see, wisdom of the Dharma. The liberation only can happen when the wisdom actualizes within the sentient being. The liberation cannot be cannot be like lifted by Buddha's hand, from a destitute realm and to the state of liberation. Buddha cannot do that. Even Buddha appeared there, but he don't reveal the teaching. The sentient being won't be benefited fully. You see, so that's why, like what the sutra have said, that the negativities cannot be purified like washing the dirt. Buddha cannot kind of take away, sentient being suffering like how take away the thorn, and Buddha's realization cannot transfer like a water, like transferring into a container like that. It's not possible, then change it, the only by revealing the Dharma, then the sentient being, able to be liberated from the oceans of samsara, you see. So therefore, need to request the practice or the limb of requesting. Then the last one is the limb or the practice of dedication. So whatever earlier the 6 type of practices, the limbs of practices that you engage, you dedicate for the benefit of numberless sentient beings' well-being. So, so when you conduct these 7 limbs of practice, you accumulate immense of merit and also purify immense of negative karma, and that prepare a pure vessel as yourself, then to receive the blessing of altruism. When you learn about bodhicitta, you really nail it to understand. You really understand. You really get inspired even when you hear the word of bodhicitta, that you really get inspired. You see, and that is a sign of blessing. That is already a sign of your mind is already have a purity state of purifying the negativities. You see, then when you contemplate on the understanding of bodhicitta, you really understand. You really get it. You gain immense of conviction, the wisdom of conviction. What really bodhicitta about. Then not only that, when you cultivate, when you integrate the bodhicitta practices, you gain the realization in it. You become of that attitude. Your body, speech, and mind, totally transform into the Bodhisattva's conduct. And your attitude is completely become altruistic. So that's called become Bodhisattva. So you become Bodhisattva. Your attitude is altruistic attitude. And these are all result of merit and purified mind. Without that, how much you hear bodhicitta, oh, okay, it's good, yes, sounds good, but what's the big deal? When you contemplate, yes, I understand, but there will be a lot of but. Yeah, only bodhisattvas can do, only the monks can do, the nuns can do, the great practitioner can do, the senior can do. Me, no. Me, newcomer, no way. Me is still little capable being, small capable being, not for me, you reject, you say, oh yeah, I've been hearing that for a long time, I read so many books, but yes, yeah, blah, 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 yes. But it's still very hard, concrete, like a stone, you cannot move at all, and this is all the sign of not enough merit and not enough purification, you see, like that. Then even how much you meditate, how much you try, it's like just can't, nurture your mind. Just can't nurture your mind, and that those are the sign of lacking of prerequisite of accumulation of merit and purification of karma. Therefore, the practice of 7 limb practices is the most crucial, and this is what Atisha taught here. Then after that is with a strong faith in the 3 jewel, kneeling with one. So after you have organized all these offerings, then you do the 7 limb practice. Then after that, maybe you already kneel down, but if you are doing that while you're working, while you are whatever, then you specifically dedicate the time to take the refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha. So the way to do that, you kneel down, you put your left knee on the ground, right knee a little bit like standing up like that, then put your 2 palms like this, put your thumb inside like this, because you are facing your teacher, the Buddha. So you are also presenting not just respect as a gesture of prostration, but you're also making offering of entirety of your existence, which represent which you have offered like a wish fulfilling jewel. So this 2 thumb putting inside represent wish fulfilling jewel. So this meaning that you are making wish fulfilling jewel offering, in order to grant the most powerful blessing or nurture you the basis of all the higher practices which is the vow and the precept of the refuge. Yeah. Then after that, then yeah, it says, you know, your hand prays together like this. Then first of all, take refuge in 3 times. So then now you take refuge. You know, I go for refuge in generally, like I go for refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. But in you can also add Guru if you like. You know, I go for refuge in Guru, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, or either I go for refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So when you are doing that, reflect on the qualities of the Buddha, as I mentioned in the beginning. The enlightenment, you know, means Buddha. You know, the purification of the 2 faults. The faults were nirvana, and I would say the obstacle to nirvana, obstacle to omniscience, and actualizing the all the perfection qualities, the Buddha's wisdom body and Buddha's form body. So you can if you understand, if you know, you can reflect on them. If you know more than that, like reflecting on the 80 major and minor marks of the Buddha, you can remember that. If not, at least just remember that Buddha is the perfected in compassion, you know, love and wisdom. You know, you admire him. You see, so like that. Then when you take refuge in the Dharma, then if you understand the knowledge of emptiness, then you reflect on the meaning of emptiness, and then you know, you are taking refuge in the Dharma, like the scripture that you see on your altar, like reflecting the wisdom, the exalted wisdom of emptiness. If not, just simply regard simply, you know, the Dharma, the antidote to all the faults, and the path to towards the liberation, enlightenment. Then Sangha, you know, the Buddha himself, who is the perfected Sangha, who adorned with all the individual liberation vows, like fully ordained vows, and all the other vows. Most of all, who actualize the direct realization in emptiness. You know, then rest of the other field, like arahats, tathagatas, you know, Arya beings, all are, you know, if you whatever amount of knowledge you have about them, you know, you remember them. You know, if you know about the vows, then you appreciate the vows. You know, fully ordained vows, novice vows, you know, and Buddhist vows, tantric vows, and all the virtues. Then seeing the absolute ability of granting protection to you, to protect from all the negativities, all the sufferings, and who will lead, you know, without any mistakes, you know, lead oneself from this very moment, very destitute, you know, situation, all the way up to until oneself achieve the state of full enlightenment. You know, will never abandon us like that. You know, so keeping all this in your heart, then build through all this reasoning, develop genuine sense of renunciation, genuine sense of conviction and faith in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and then completely submit yourself, you know, surrender completely, you know, from now onward, that I will follow only Buddha's example. From now onward, I will only follow the guidance of the Dharma. You know, I will only stay in the circle of, you know, the virtuous environment, like the sanghas. You know, and you will abandon. You will stay away from all the negative of all the negative, you know, away from the negative guidance, negative instructions, you know, negative friends, etc., like that. So, so if you know the prayer, you recite the prayer, reflect the meaning, and then you do that 3 times. If you don't know how to recite, you just simply express in your heart the meaning, understanding. Then at the end of the third time reflecting on that or reciting that, then you just conclude by acknowledging that I have received the refuge. I have received the refuge vow, refuge precept, like that. So then that is the time that you accomplish all the prerequisites towards actualizing the Bodhisattva precept. To really follow the Bodhisattva's footsteps. Starting with at least with aspiration of bodhicitta, and then eventually will develop the engaging Bodhisattva's conduct. Okay, now time over. It's supposed to be quick, but didn't went quick. Okay. So verse 10 is this: next, beginning with an attitude of love for all living creature, considering being excluding none, suffering in the three bed rebirths, suffering birth, death, and so forth. So as I already explained before, this is very much talking about actualizing the causes to develop the bodhicitta, like such as the 6 causes, or the 4 techniques, the self-exchanging with other. So next, beginning with the attitude. So beginning with the attitude of cultivating the causes, like such as love, love for all living beings. As I already mentioned, the definition of what is the love. Then considering being excluding none. So this love is not only for one being, but has to be unconditional and great love. That means not excluding even one single sentient being. If you leave out one single sentient being, then that not sufficient to be the great love, the unconditional great love, that which is must actualize in order to develop bodhicitta. You see, because no cause, no result, no complete cause, no result. So let's say you develop the love, wanting happiness for all for all the sentient beings except your enemy. That particular enemy about a moment ago who disturbed you, who slapped you, who harm you. I can generate love to everybody, but not for this person. I still have a big heart for all sentient beings, but not for this person. Or in the kitchen, the cockroach is disturbing you too much. I can develop love to all sentient beings, but not my cockroach in the in the kitchen drawer. Then that love is not good enough to lead to the bodhicitta. So that's the reason say excluding none. Suffering in the 3-bed realm, suffering of birth, death, and so forth is very much talking about compassion. So you have to develop the compassion by reflecting on the suffering first, suffering of yourself, the samsaric of all suffering, the specific suffering of human being. Then that reflect to that take as example to rest of the other sentient beings who are in the same situation. Then you generate this great compassion of concerning to liberate entire numberless sentient being from oceans of samsaric suffering, and it is caused just exactly like how you would do for yourself. So then since you want to free these beings from the suffering of pain, from suffering of the causes of suffering, arose immutably resolve to attain enlightenment. So actually here, the verse 10 is very much focused on the great love. Verse 11, the the three line very much focus on the teaching on compassion, great compassion. Then arose immutably the resolve, which is the number 6, the great heart of resolve, which is the immediate cause of bodhicitta. And the resolve is you know for the benefit of your own enlightenment, which is solely for the benefit of numberless sentient beings' enlightenment. Okay, so and that will lead to the result similar to the cause, which is the bodhicitta. The bodhicitta that carry the two aspect, two characteristic. The first characteristic is that I want to actualize full enlightenment. That's the first attitude. The purpose of wanting to actualize myself full enlightenment is solely for the benefit of actualizing rest of the numberless sentient being in the state of full enlightenment. So these are the two attitude. With these two characteristics, the mind, the attitude that you carry with these two characteristics, so that mind qualified, that attitude qualified as a bodhicitta. And that is the direct result of the mind of resolve. Mind of resolve, you see. In order for, I want to achieve a state of full enlightenment for the benefit of numberless sentient being by myself alone. You know, by myself alone will make sure it actualize my own full enlightenment, which is solely for the dedication of liberating rest of the numberless sentient being in the state of full enlightenment. So, and also the great Pandit Cendagumi, especially recommended the technique that Lama Atisha and the use the 7 cause and effect, is recommended, especially, the effectiveness to generate bodhicitta. Then the great Pandit Kamalashila recommended the 4-point self-exchanging with other, that regarded very effective. So there are great masters that whom you can take as example. So whichever you feel, whichever technique you feel comfortable to you, then this different master as inspiration for you to cultivate this practice. Okay, I think I have to stop here. So maybe I'm taking too much of your time. 12. Okay, thank you. So I stop here. So do a short dedication. So whatever merit we accumulated collectively, individually, be the complete cause for the temporary happiness and ultimate happiness of numberless sentient beings. May this collective merit be a complete cause for this world to actualize peace and happiness, eradicate all the natural, disasters and man-made disasters. May this collective merit be a complete cause for all the beneficial beings, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, all your other spiritual gurus, and yourself, your family members. Always enjoy perfect health, long life, fulfill all your aspirations. May this collective merit be complete cause, specifically to actualize this cure for this pandemic around the world as soon as possible, as effective as possible. And also dedicate this collective merit be complete cause for anyone who passed away, in particular those who passed away within the last 49 days, those people, those animals. And the merit be the antidote to purify the suffering of death, suffering of intermediate state, suffering of rebirth, and be the complete cause for them to meet perfect Maya and Guru in their next life, and without interruption, actualize state of full enlightenment. Janjo Joram Boja Majabanam Jeju Jawani, but Mebayan Gone Gudu Pevajo Tony Tower and Boja Majabanam Jeju Jawani, but Mebayan Gone Gudu Pevajo, Tower and Boja Majabanam Jeju Jawani, but Mebayan Gone Gudu Pevajo, Beba, which is about to do somebody and the Dagoji to Dalos. Jawa de Dadam Jeradunga to Jave, Jawadam Jedungo, Galachudunga, about Daddy Javet, so the Gunja Sambo Chuja, Rabdungo, Varai, Conreda, Covision, the Pendan de Wamaju and the Cheres and Matizia. Shabeze de Bado Danger to Sanjay Jango Javet, the Jope, Kuzo, Chozo Govele to do Daso de Jagondo, Shabde, Show, Jawagundo Yandana, Mother Pamichi, Pelalonjus. Sadalam Jinder of the Doje, Changi Gomba, New Do Show. Okay, thank you very much. If in case, if any of you have any question, you can ask. And those of you who need to leave, please feel free to leave anytime. If no question, then we will stop here.
Any questions? Okay. I don't think there are any questions today, Geshe-la.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Geshe-la, for teaching us.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question. I have a question, please.
Yes, I have. Thank you.
Oh,
I have a question.
Subhashini?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a question, please.
Yeah,
Sure,
go ahead, Subhashini.
Okay. Last time, Geshe-la, you talked about how a spirit of a cockroach or an ant could have been responsible for your existence. Now, the question that I want to ask is that unless you have a lot of merit, you cannot have the birth of a human being. And somebody from the lower realms, would it be even possible for them to have a birth of your kind, where you are a Geshe and you are a very devout Buddhist?
Yes, the cockroach and yes, everybody, everything, including plants and atmosphere, is all byproduct of you, meaning it's byproduct of your karma. The meaning is everything is arising from your karma. Like what like the Chitta Matharan would say, everything is a result of your mind. It has a great understanding there. And also, as like what the Pasangika view would say, everything is labeled by mind. Is basically karma is the mental state. When you talk about karma, is intangible, mental imprint. So everything what you experience, including cockroach, is byproduct of you. Okay, so then second one is what is the second one? What is the second question you said? Can you repeat the second question?
Subhashini, can you repeat the second question, please?
Just hint me.
Oh, I don't think she's able to hear us.
Okay, no problem. What
I'll
she
ask
said?
her to write it down. She's basically spoke about being in the lower realms and being able to have a higher rebirth later.
Yes. Anybody, even someone who is experiencing the lowest hell, the Vajra hell, just matter of time, will purify that and will actualize higher rebirth and accomplish the path and enlightened. The thing is that there are, the beings in the lower realm because of the interrupted karma. The basic seed of the virtue carried by every single living being, including the hell being, and that is the Buddha nature. Buddha nature is a very powerful virtue, and that is the seed. So, and any being, any sentient being have accumulated, just matter of how vast, but accumulated, the conditional merits in the past lifetimes. And those merits are also, still, if it's not exhausted by negativities, and there are many virtues that definitely, not exhausted by negativities, and they are still remain there. So those virtues has a capability to naturally multiply, expand. It's similar to any non-virtues, have the capability to expand if you don't purify. So even the virtue that committed by the past lifetime of that particular hell being, if that virtue is not completely destroyed by ripening result, not destroyed by the like negative emotion, negativities, then that virtue has the capability to continue to progress, maybe not as fast as in the virtuous conducive condition because the being is in the hell realm, but still. So and when that virtue come to a certain degree of maturity and meeting a conditional other virtue, which could be by the help of you thinking of that hell being, you praying for that hell being. So you create the conditional virtue that which will trigger that imprint of the past virtue of that hell being will cause to purify the hell being and actualize the higher rebirth. Like one of the Buddha's past life, who was the carriage carrier in the hell being, and who is experiencing hell realm, but who also carry those imprints of the past virtues, and that little imprint of the past virtue was ripened by the force of the condition of it's a slight virtue that he when his the carriage partner was bitten by the hell god, he somehow arise sense of compassion, and just because of that compassion, conditioned to ripen all his other virtues, including his Buddha nature, which is the basis of all. Then, he actualized higher rebirth. Then eventually, he reincarnate as a Gautama Buddha in this world, like that. Yeah. So to become, then another one, to become like me is very easy. To become like me is one of the easiest thing. So it's not a big deal to be Geshe, to be Tenzin Zopa. Yes, yeah, there are a lot of wonderful things. How fortunate, to meet perfect Mayanic Guru and able to receive the vow and cultivate the Dharma. So that part is, yes, definitely is a great fortune, great blessing, and anybody can achieve that. If you, anybody can achieve that. You can achieve much more better than that. Yeah, your ambition is to become just like the gurus, like precious gurus, like His Soundness Dalai Lama, Chebjol Lama Soparinpoche, like Shantideva, Nagarjuna, Lama Tsongkhapa, Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. You know, and that is not easy. Yeah, then we need to practice hard. You know, morality. You know, basically you have to practice 3 higher trainings diligently. Yeah, to become like me is very easy. Like that, you just do like that, you can become better than me. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think
Geshe-la,
so.
there's one more person who has a question.
Okay, sure.
Her name is Carla, I think.
Yes.
Sure.
Carla Dutsi. Yeah.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you for your kindness.
Thank you.
Do you in the last session, you help us to understand the relation between the 2 truths and the resultants of the 2 bodies of a Buddha. I understood that realizing the ultimate truth, the perfection of emptiness, results in Dharmakaya. And I try to understand that realizing the conventional truth, realizing the Sambhogakaya, right? I have a little doubt about that, because I don't quite understand the relation between that realization of the conventional truth with Sambhogakaya, Rupakaya, or Nirmanakaya. Can you help me to understand a little bit?
So the conventional truth is, understanding of the reality of samsara. You know, an example that is understanding of conventional truth. So meaning understanding of suffering of sentient being. Then when you understand the suffering of sentient being, then you develop bodhicitta, was a great compassion, isn't it? So great compassion will lead to, as we discussed today, will lead to bodhicitta. And that bodhicitta will develop into a perfected tool of most beneficial virtue to the sentient being, which is the 2 form bodies of the Buddha. The Sambhogakaya form body and Nirmanakaya form body. Again, as I mentioned before, you know, the importance of the existence of, Nirmanakaya, like Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. Otherwise, Guru Shakyamuni Buddha remain in Dharmakaya. We ordinary being won't have all this Dharma opportunity. You see, so because of the Nirmanakaya, the Buddha's form body, that's why sentient beings are able to receive direct benefit. And our gurus, our spiritual gurus are Nirmanakaya aspect of Buddha's enlightened bodies, where they can communicate directly with us. Even in the most degenerated time, even like myself, someone that who is completely filled with negativities, so least virtues, but then still the guru can able to directly communicate with us. And these are all started from the understanding of conventional truth. Then that makes to develop bodhicitta, that makes to actualize enlightenment, Buddhahood, and that bring about the 2 bodies of the Buddha, like that.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you. Okay. So
any other questions? Okay, Geshe-la, I don't think there are any other questions.
Okay, now
Thank
we
you
must
so much,
stop.
Geshe-la. Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much,
much.
Geshe-la,
Take
for
care.
spending time and
Bye-bye.
teaching us.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Geshe-la.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming, and see you all next week. Thank you all for coming, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
The teachings are getting uploaded. Please check them out later. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Dee. Have a good weekend.
Yes, you as well. Bye, Christine.
Bye, Dee.
Bye, Joanne.
Next week, see you.